Hello everyone, my name is Miss Ashley from Febo Kids Art Academy and welcome to another amazing art class. Today, in honor of Mother's Day, we're going to be drawing a mother narwhal with a baby narwhal. So we'll go ahead and get started with our drawing steps. So here is my picture of our narwhals. You can easily change those colors up in any way that you want. Also, you can add whatever you want to your background. I'm going to go ahead and put my picture aside so we can get started with those drawing steps. Today, I'm going to be using a Sharpie so you can see my lines. However, I want you to make sure that you're using a pencil because you may need to erase. Make sure your paper is vertical, which means up and down. And we're going to be drawing a pretty large shape. It kind of looks like a teardrop with a curve. So what I like to do is I'm going to first start off with this large rainbow. This is going to be the top of our mother narwhal's head. Now, depending on how long you want your narwhal, you're going to draw a small little dot. Because after you draw that small dot, we're going to go to the bottom left of our rainbow and you're going to draw a curved line to connect to the dot at the bottom. And then after you've drawn that curved line, we're going to do the same thing by drawing a curved line back to that dot. So there is the body of our mother narwhal. Now we need to draw the baby narwhal, and we're going to do this same steps, only it's flipped around. So we're going to go ahead and draw that rainbow again for the top of the baby narwhal's head. And then I'm going to draw a dot. That way I can connect those lines. So starting on the right side, I'm going to draw this curved line that goes to the bottom. And then same on the right, draw that curved line to connect to the bottom. So again, they kind of look like some raindrops that are upside down with a little bit of curves. All right. For this next step, we need to draw those little fins at the bottom. I'm going to start at the bottom, curve down, and back up. And I'll do that same thing again on the right side. Curve down and back up. Good job on drawing those. They almost look like leaves, don't they? We're going to do the same thing to the mother narwhal by drawing a curved line down. This time I'm going to make it a little bit bigger because remember she is bigger than the baby narwhal. And then we're going to curve back to the tail. All right, great job on drawing that. We need to do it one more time by curving down and back to the tail. So again, make sure that these are a little bit larger than the baby. All right, good job with that. We're going to add the flippers now. We're going to go to the left side of the body and we're going to curve up and then back down. Great job on drawing that flipper. We're going to go up and down. We're going to do that same thing on the mom. Make sure that those flippers are a little bit bigger by curving up and then down. And same thing again. Curve up and down. Great job on drawing those narwhals, but those faces are missing. Now, if you want to draw those narwhal eyes in any way that you want, you're more than welcome to. My narwhals are super happy, so I'm just going to draw rainbows for the eyes. Remember, this is your picture. You can draw those eyes in any way that you want, whether you want to draw some circles or maybe you want to draw them closed by drawing U-shaped eyes. That's up to you. But then I'm going to draw that smile. And that is it for the faces. Now, if you don't want to draw a narwhal, that's totally okay. You would just leave it like this. However, since I'm drawing narwhals, I'm going to draw the horns on their head. And how I'm going to do that is I'm first going to go to the top middle of their head. I want to make sure that I'm not at the very edge. I'm going to start inside right here by drawing a curved line. And then a slant line going up and then down. And same right here. I need to draw that U-shaped curve. And then slanted line up. And then back down. All right, before we add anything to our background, make sure you do erase that line. That's the top of the narwhal's head. That horn is blocking it, so we don't want to see it. I'll show you with my red marker where to erase. Make sure you're erasing this line right here and this line right here. Again, make sure you erase those lines. Now this is where you can start to add a few things to your background. Today I'm just going to add some simple bubbles to my picture. You can add as many as you want by drawing those circles. You can have them big, you can have them small. You can draw some waves right here. In fact, maybe I'll draw some waves right there as well. By just drawing some up and down lines. They don't have to be exactly even. That is up to you, how you want to draw that background. You could draw some waves right here. You could draw maybe a rainbow up here. Myself, I just like the bubbles myself. That way it shows that they're underwater. If you want to add some seashells, you would draw what kind of looks like flower petals. Drawing one upside down raindrop. Curve and curve. Curve, curve. And then draw 1, 2, 3. Your possibilities are endless with that background. Even more bubbles look really good. You could draw some fish in that background if you want to. Have fun with that background. I'll give you a moment to work on that. For my final picture, I'm probably just going to stick with the bubbles. I'll probably add some seashells, but take that moment to add whatever you want to your background. Make it fun and magical. Again, you can add that rainbow. Maybe you want to add some clouds to the sky and have a lot of fun with your picture. But when you are done, your picture should look something like this. I'm just going to stick with the bubbles today and the seashells, but I'm also have my narwhal right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my pencil aside, except I will need that eraser later. I'm going to take my Sharpie. I'm going to make sure that cap is on the back, and I'm going to outline all of my Sharpie lines. All of my pencil lines with my Sharpie. I'm making sure to take my time outlining those lines. I'm holding low and I'm going slow. And again, you can change up those faces if you want. If you want to add maybe some eyelashes to the mom narwhal, so you can easily add some eyelashes here if you want to. That's up to you. Definitely have fun with your picture. I'm going to add that smile. And take my time to outline. And really take your time. It's like you're following a little ladybug on your paper. Up and then down, up and down. So just continue outlining your picture. So there's my mother narwhal. I'll add the baby next. And I'll continue outlining. Right, there's the body. I'm going to go ahead and draw over the face. And I'll take that moment to add the flippers and the fins. And I'll go in and add those bubbles and seashells. I can even add a starfish if I want to. But go ahead and outline your picture. I really like bubbles in my picture, so I'm just going to add a little bit more with my Sharpie. I'll add my seashell by drawing that upside down teardrop. And adding those curved lines. And I'll add even more seashells. And even more bubbles. All right, I'll give you a moment to work on that background and outlining your lines. If there's anything else that you want to add, you can go ahead and do so. If you want to write Happy Mother's Day right there, you can as well. When you are done, you're going to go ahead and put your Sharpie away. And you're going to take out your pencil again. And this time we're just going to use the eraser to erase any pencil lines that you see on your paper. Now, make sure you're not erasing your entire picture. Just look for those places that you might see some pencil lines. So I'm just going through my narwhal's backs and horn to see if there's any pencil lines, because I don't want to see any of those pencil lines anymore. So just very carefully taking that time to erase those pencil lines. That way it just looks really nice and clean. Now, if you wanted to, you could leave your picture like this. You don't have to color it if you don't want to. However, I find that coloring pictures makes it look really fun, exciting. Now, since this is in honor of Mother's Day, what I'm going to do is I am going to make this my mom, and this is going to be me. My mom's favorite color is blue, so I'll probably color her blue. And then my favorite color is purple, so I'll do purple. For my sample right here, I made a pink narwhal with a purple belly, and then the baby narwhal is blue with a pink belly. You can choose whatever colors you want for your narwhals. That is up to you. I am going to have their horns match though, so I'm going to go ahead and take out my yellow first. And I like to make sure that my pencils are sharpened well. And when using those colored pencils, you want to make sure that you're not pressing too hard. Can give you a little bit of a hand cramp. You want to press softly and build up those layers of color. So I'm just taking my yellow and coloring over and over again, making sure that I'm not pressing too hard. Just go ahead and choose any color that you want for those horns. I'm going to do the same color on the mom narwhal as well. All right, so there are those two horns. And make sure you're going over, getting all of those white spots. All right. I'm going to start with the baby narwhal first. So we'll just say that this is me. My favorite color is purple, so I'm going to go ahead and take purple out. But again, you can choose whatever color that you want. I'm going to choose this lighter purple instead. And I'll have the belly pink. I'm going to take out both my pink and my purple. Now, this is optional. You don't have to have two different colors. If you want to color your narwhal a solid color, you can. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my colored pencil and just draw a curved line right there. So since my narwhal is going to be purple, I'm going to take my purple colored pencil and very carefully, I'm just going to draw that curved line just to show the belly. Might be a little bit hard to see, so I'll press a little bit harder so you can see it, like so. So that way I know that I'm only coloring the top part purple for my narwhal. And just like I did with that horn, I want to make sure that I'm not pressing too hard. I'm just building up that layer of color. So I'm just going through and coloring. All right. And I'm just going through again and again to make sure that that color is nice and solid. All right, there we go. Keep coloring that, just going over to color it more and more. And if you need to, you can go back and sharpen those pencils. And I'm just going to keep coloring the top of my narwhal, baby narwhal's body and the head. And don't forget to color those fins as well. I'm also going to use that same color to color the fins down here. Now I actually like the white belly, but remember, you can choose whatever color you want for your narwhals. I really do like the white though. I think it just makes it look really, really cute. So I'm just gonna leave mine white today, but remember, you can choose whatever colors that you want because this is your picture. Let me just go back over and make sure that I've got a nice layer of color because now I'm gonna be moving on to my mom narwhal. Now, remember, this is for my mom, so her favorite color is light blue. So I'm going to be taking out my light blue, and I'm going to be doing that same thing by taking my light blue, and I'm going to just draw a curve to separate the body from the head. So there is my curved line right here. And I'll hold it up a little bit closer so you can see. Now I'm going to be doing the same thing that I did with my baby narwhal. I'm just going to take my light blue and color that body. All right, and remember, we don't want to press too hard. We just want to go back and forth and build up that layer of color. And we want to make sure that we're getting as close as we can to those lines as possible. And just going back and forth. And I like to use the side, so make sure you're not holding it straight up and down. We just want to use the side of our colored pencil. Get as close as you can to those lines as well. I'm going to go ahead and take a moment to sharpen my colored pencil. And don't forget to color those flippers and fins. I'm just going back and forth on coloring. All right. And I'm just going to keep coloring right here. Remember, you want to build up those layers of color so they really stand out. Don't want to have any white streaks or white spots. And then I'm going to color those tails. All right, and don't forget the left side and the right side. So now my narwhals are colored. I'm going to choose orange for my seashells. And again, you can choose whatever color that you want. I'm just going to go over and color those in. I'll do one orange and I'll do the other one pink. So here's my orange one. And make sure you're going back and forth to fill that in. And then I'm going to choose, let's grab that pink right here. And remember, you can choose whatever colors you want for your picture. Great job on your color choices and filling those in. Really check to make sure that you don't have any white spots. Now, even though I already used light blue for my mom narwhal, I'm still going to use light blue for my bubbles. However, after I fill them in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the left side of those bubbles and add even more color. So it looks like shading right there. So fill in that bubble. And then on the left side of the bubbles, make it a little bit darker. So I can hold it up so you can see. Again, make sure that side's a little bit darker and that's lighter. That way it will look more like bubbles or pearls. That way it just makes the bubbles stand out a little bit more. Fill in and make it darker on the left. And you're going to do this to all your bubbles. All right, and we're almost done with our picture. There is one thing I do want to do to our narwhals though before we end our drawing. We're going to just make it look like, so instead of party hats, we're going to make it look more like a horn. Because right now those rectangles kind of look like party hats. There's just nothing wrong with your narwhal having a party. However, we're going to do one last thing to make sure that they look more like horns. Whatever color you used for your narwhal's horn, make sure you grab a darker color. So for example, since I used yellow for that horn, I'm going to use orange to make it a little bit darker. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw some curved lines going up. So here I'm going to add those curved lines. I'm going to try my best to make sure that they're evenly spaced apart. So that way they don't look like party hats. They look like a nice magical horn, like a unicorn horn. And I'm just going to go over and add a little bit of shading as well. That way it kind of looks a little bit more golden. Now, if you have a different color than I do, so for example, maybe you have a pink horn, then you would use red or purple. If you have a blue horn, you can use purple or a dark blue. Just make sure you are using a darker color, or if you have maybe say a pink horn, just add those lines with that pink and press a little bit harder. That way it just looks a little bit more magical. Now that we're done, if you still have some details in your background that you need to finish, you can go ahead, add those details. If you want to add more shading, so for example, I could add a little bit of shading to those seashells. A little bit of an advanced step, but always try your best here at Febo Kids Art Academy. So I can go in and add a little bit of shading here. I could go in and add even more shading to my narwhals as well. There's so much you can do with your picture, but that is our final step for our picture. I'm just going to add a little bit of shading. And these are optional steps just to make it look a little bit more unique and stand out. But that is it for our picture of our mother narwhal and baby narwhal. Thank you so much for joining us today at Febo Kids Art Academy. I hope you had so much fun drawing your mother narwhal with the baby. And again, happy Mother's Day. Hope you enjoyed this class. Please post your pictures online at our Febo Village page on Facebook. We would love to see them. And we will see you next time. Bye.